Okay, so we just exported our file on Slicer for Fusion 360, and now we're going to open up Illustrator. Here's Illustrator, and File, Open, and it should be, you downloaded it. It was a zip, and I had to unzip it, so you're going to need to do that. And then you can select all of those files, so it could be like a lot, and click Open. And then it's going to take a million years. They're all open. There's a little spinning wheel of death. And here we go. So first thing we want to do is just go through these files and be like, hey, there are 12 slices here. Looking good. Yep. 12. Okay. So it's important now to remember what size material you're cutting on. So this is not going to take up a full sheet of, what did I buy you? Of 26 by 38 inch cardboard. I don't think this is going to take up a full sheet. Like, I'm very sure it's not going to. So you can come into the lab and find a smaller sheet, or you can just assume you're going to use a fresh new sheet, and that's fine with me because I'm going to show you how to nest and how to save material when we're cutting. And we're going to create that now. And so all of the steps that we have done so far, and even like these steps that we're about to do, you can do on your personal computer, so you don't have to come into the lab for it. Which is up to you. You may want to be in the lab to do it to get help, but you can do all of this like not in the lab. Okay, File, New, 38 by 26. I'm going to call it Mini Side Table, MKD, maybe, if I can spell. All right, create. Boom, here it is. So now we're going to like get into a process. We're going to get into a workflow. What I'm going to show you now, you're not going to be able to avoid. So you need to spend time and figure out how to do this. You're probably going to not be able to do it just by like quickly watching this video and then trying it later. It's going to be like an intentional effort. So what we're going to do now is something called nesting. So nesting, like I said in the last video, it's a process by which you arrange the parts to be cut so that you're saving material. And it's really important from an environmental perspective. Like, we use a lot of wood, cardboard, paper, acrylic, like so much material in this lab. And anything that we can do to save material so that it can be reused, we need to do, like we must do. It's also important to think about from a budget perspective. We don't have infinite resources to buy material. So for this project, you have like half a sheet of cardboard. You should not be using more than half a sheet of cardboard, of fresh cardboard. If you need to go into like some of the random Amazon boxes we have and some of the other random scraps, that's fine. But like kind of begin to imagine material budgeting, because when you do this big version, you're gonna have a certain number of sheets of cardboard that you can use. Okay, so let's begin the nesting process. All right, click on this one, and here's my first file. So I'm in my black selection tool right now. I want to transition to my direct selection tool. I'm gonna click on that one, or the hotkey is A. Click on this, I'm gonna delete the outline. Now I'm changing to my black selection tool. I'm pressing Command A, which is the hotkey for select all. Now I'm pressing Command X, which is a hotkey that allows you to both copy and cut at the same time. Now I am Xing out of this tab. We don't need to save it. And I'm on my new work plane. That is the 36 by 28. And I'm going to press Command V, which is the hotkey for paste. Okay, and I don't need to like move these around, but if I want to, I can just move them over here. That's fine. Let's go to the next one. I'm on the direct selection tool. Clicking this, deleting it. Black selection tool, Command A, Command X. Out of this, don't save. Here we go, Command V. Okay, so this is the process. Just kind of get into it and get all of these files onto our new work plan. Okay, so direct selection tool, delete the outline, black tool, Command X, don't save, Command V, and again. Also, I'm sure Kevin's going to tell you that there's like another way to do this. You don't have to use Illustrator for this assignment. You can use Fusion 360 or whatever software you want, but you do need to make an object with 12 slices that you assemble, that uses Slicer, and it needs, at least for this one, to be around 7 inches. So if you can find another workaround, which I'm sure you can, maybe you can, that'd be great, go for it. Command A, Command X, don't save, Command V. And again. This is definitely like an RTP kind of vibe, you know? Just get into the process and get it done. Command A, Command X, Command V. All right, cool. So we got some stuff. And right now when I click on some of these, notice that both the slice, like the profile, and the text, like these numbers and letters, are moving together. That's great for now. So I'm going to just choose which ones are the largest. So I'll start with Z3, and I'm going to begin nesting them. So just like in your training, we move everything to the upper left-hand corner. So we're going to start to do that, but we're going to like actually move everything to the upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to continue going with the bigger ones and putting them really close together. Like you can go really close together. They can touch. That is fine. This can be kind of therapeutic, you know? Maybe not. But I think it's like a puzzle in a way. And it's kind of fun to see like how close you can get them together and how much space you can conserve. All right, and it begins. So this is the next thing that you're going to face. And what's happening here is I'm clicking on Z. I like to just move Z5, but it's connected to Y1. So the way that we're gonna get these to be separate is I'm going to click, I'm gonna double click with my black selection tool. So you can see what happened is I'm now in I'm in layer 1. It's like the Matrix, maybe, or Inception. And I'm like I'm like diving in. All right, so we're deep in this layer now. And in this layer now, I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna try and select the text. They're both blue, I've selected them both. Okay, deep in the layers, you're gonna press Command X, which remember, copies and cuts at the same time, Command X. We're still deep in the layer, we gotta get out. You can actually just use this right up here to get out of the layer. Now we're out, we're back into the real world. Or you can just like double click a million times. So where did that shape go? We copied it, remember? So Command V, and now it's here, okay? But did it come back in 2 pieces, you know? Did Leonardo DiCaprio make it out? We'll never know. So this right here, oh my gosh, it's not connected. That's like not good. So we're gonna select everything and then right click, group. Cool. So now it's moving all as one. And let's just check on this one, moving all as one. So now we can continue with our process and place this one. Looks good. Whoa, same thing happening here. All right, double click, we're in the layer. Shift, we've got them both selected. Command X, click a million times. Command V. We know from experience that this isn't connected, so just go ahead and group it. The hotkey for group is Command G or Control G, depending on if you're on a Mac or PC. Now it's connected. And now I can freely move Y5. Okay, Okay. And again, double click, get into the layer, maybe triple click, hold shift and select the next one, Command X, get out of it, Command V, Command G, done. So it's like once you go into the hang of it, it's kind of easy, but it takes some time. Cool, that can go there. And just notice like I'm doing the larger ones first. I'm saving the tiny ones for last. Okay. I wonder if I can scooch this into here. Yeah, that's good. All right. This kind of egg shape, putting it all the way in. Okay, great. So we're not done. So what's been happening in the lab, and this just happens like everywhere, is like people cut this and they think like, oh, I'm saving this entire other piece of cardboard for someone to cut. But there's just like a bunch of stuff now connected to it. And it's like, okay, they have to like make a right angle and measure. And that's just like, we can super easily avoid that, right? So we're going to do this. You have to do this. You're required to do this moving forward. Do this. Click on the rectangle. Go like real close to your shape. Make a box. So now when you cut, there's going to be this beautiful sheet of cardboard that remains. But we're going to go a step further because there's a bunch of nice space right here. And like think about all the next students who have to make those laser cut swabs. They're going to want to use some really tiny pieces of cardboard. So we're going to make this for those future students. Cool. All right. So we're not done yet. We want to now get it ready to be laser cut. So we are actually going to vector cut all of this, but on very different settings, because we want our slices to cut all the way through, but we don't really want our text to cut all the way through. That's very unnecessary, and we can do something else for that. And we're going to. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create 2 layers. So when you show up to laser cut on the laser computer, you should not show up with 1 layer. You should show up with 2 layers, okay? The way that we're going to do that is we're going to click on one of these objects, and remember they're grouped, so I can't just click on this red text. I'm going to ungroup this. Now when I click on the red text, I can just click on that, and then I'm going to go up here to select, same, stroke color. It's going to, when I do that, it's going to select all of the red text. Boom. Okay, we did that. Now you're going to Command X, which is copy cut. Then we're going to go over here to our layers. And I'm going to go ahead and label this slices. I'm going to create a new layer that is called text. And like, let's just say right now I want to paste this. I go Command V. It's like nothing is happening, right? So you have to select the layer that you're going to post with, or that you're going to paste with. So I'm going to go Shift Command V, and there is my beautiful text. Okay, and when I do Shift Command V, it pastes it in the exact location it was cut from. So now I can like hide these. It's cool. Okay, so we're still not done though, because this is not going to laser cut. We know it's not going to cut because it's not the right stroke weight. Command A, go up here to stroke weight, 0.01 mm, enter. Now we can barely see it, which is why we do this at the end, because it's like so hard to see. So do this at the end. All right, that looks pretty good, and like we're pretty ready to laser cut it. Now we're gonna save as, and we're gonna save it as mini side table MKD. That looks good. Save in downloads. Save. This format is good. Okay, this is where you could help with all the issues that pop up when you're on the computer in the lab. So your version of Illustrator versus my version of Illustrator versus the ones in the different computers on the labs is all different. And maybe someone should fix that. But for now, what you should do is you should figure out maybe like what are the versions on the different computers so that when you open your files, it doesn't like have unsaved information because it's a different version of Illustrator. So I would recommend doing that, or you can just deal and be flexible with the problems that come up when they come up. Okay? Okay.